Hey everyone, my name is Bruno, and I'm one of the developers in the Game Builder team. This is part of a video series explaining how the logic system works in Game Builder. In this video, we're going to go over the basics. So we're going to start with this tree over here, and then we're going to use a logic tool. Notice how the logic panel opens. The way that the logic works in Game Builder is that the logic panel has a series of cards. Every card that you add to the logic panel is going to determine some aspect of the object's behavior. For example, here we have a movement panel, and then we can add movement cards on it. Let's add a simple one. So we can click on this Add Move Card button here, and we're going to add this Wander Around card. Once we place the card, notice how the tree starts to move around. This is because this card is controlling this aspect of its behavior. So it's just wandering around aimlessly, just like trees do in the real world. All right, what happens if we want to wander around a little faster? We can just click on it and set the parameters. Every card has a set of parameters that you can tweak. For example, let's say we want the tree to wander around at speed 4. There we go. Now we have a game where a tree just walks around. All right, let's do something more exciting. Let's remove this card. Notice that when you remove the card, the tree stops moving. And why is that? It's because there are no cards now controlling the movement of the tree. Now let's add a different one. It's going to be a much more exciting game now. I'm going to add the chase card. The chase card is going to make the tree chase some target. If you click the card, you can set the target. Who to chase, it's already set to the player, so let's leave it at that. This means that we now have a very exciting game where a tree chases you around. Notice how it's chasing me. There we go. There is no escaping the tree. It's a high adrenaline, aggressive vegetation game. There we go. For even more excitement, we could just configure the card to have a faster tree. There we go. Now it's even more difficult to escape the tree. All right, enough about trees that chase you around. Oh, notice that you can always click pause, and then the game will pause because it's very hard to think when there's a tree chasing you. Now, using what we learned about movement cards, we can do another important aspect of games, which is platforms. So let's just delete this tree over here. Pause. Delete. There we go. All right, let's try to create a simple platform. We go into the Create tool. Here under Gameplay, you're going to find a whole bunch of different platforms that you can use. So let's pick this one. Let's place it over here. Notice that it's a platform that doesn't do anything yet. And to make it do something, you can add a movement card. Let's try this back and forth card. Just add the card to it. What immediately happens is that the platform is going to begin to move, as soon as we unpause the game, of course. So we unpause the game, now the platform is moving around. What happens if we want the platform to move differently? Same thing, just card parameters. Just click on it, we can make it move a little faster. There we go. Oh, actually, sorry, this is the distance. Now it's moving further forward. Let's make it move a little faster. And we can also change how long it stays at each endpoint. So let's say 2 seconds at each endpoint. So there we go. So we already have a platform that we could step on. So let's just try it out. We could just step on this platform, and it's going to carry us around. This is one of the staples in a platformer game, of course. You can move the platform around. It's easier to do that if you pause the game. And now we can move it around and place it where we want. Every time you move a platform, you're just placing it where it's going to begin its movement. So whatever we end up placing it, that's where it's going to start moving in this direction. So now if we unpause, it's going to move in that direction. Now, what happens if you wanted to change the direction of the platform? Instead of going back and forth, you want it to go up and down. So we can always do that by changing the card parameters. So just click here on the back and forth card, and we can change this distance forward to 0 and distance up to 10, say. When we do that and we unpause the game, notice that the platform will now move up and down by that distance. So there we go, it moves up and down by that distance. And then we can change the other parameters if we want to. All right, I think that's all there is to it for our first video. Using what you learned in this video, you can make a platformer with all sorts of vegetation that chases you. And that's it. So thank you for trying out Game Builder, and please check out the other videos in our channel. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.